talking about the MasterCard rollout with the new platform. All right. Oh, change seats.
Check, check.
God, it's great to be here.
Hello, hello, everyone. All right, I think we are live. Hi, I'm Lynn, Liss, co-founder and COO of Akoin. You've met my esteemed partners already, and they know I'm happy as a clam because I get to play moderator to my teammates, which is a joyous thing. We have a really exciting announcement to make today related to our Akoin card, but I'm going to do a little background history to get us started because when I think about this journey we began together almost 2-3 years ago now, and the story that Akon shared about his inspiration, why he felt that Africa needed its own coin, Akoin, and where we're at today, and we're going to be talking about how we get Akoin and the Akoin card out to the broader masses, even well beyond Africa. But if you could share that origin story for you, what inspired you to say Africa needs its own coin?
Well, yeah, let me share the story with you guys just a little bit. As you know, the African local currencies aren't really that strong. And it was always a shame to me because of how much Africa is actually worth as a continent, how our money just wasn't worth as much as our resources. And as I used to travel to Africa all the time, specifically in Senegal, I would always, come home, exchange my US currency for the CFI, which is made by the French. And I would spend the money. And then one time, I was rushing to head to the airport and forgot that I had transferred all this money from US to CFI, and I needed to transfer it back before I got on the plane. But I literally forgot because I was rushing to get on the plane. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what, no problem. When I get to France, I'll just change the money over, it's no problem. So I get off the plane, and I go straight to the money exchange counter, and I said, I would like to exchange my CFI for euro or US dollars. I just need to switch it out. And the lady at the counter looked at me and was like, I'm sorry, we don't accept this. And I was so baffled. I was like, what do you mean you don't accept it? It's money. She said, yes, but we don't accept CFI. I said, but you're French. She said, yes, I know, but we don't accept. I said, but you guys made this money for us. You mean this money that you made for us is not even worth anything in France? And she said, yes, I'm sorry, we can't accept it. It was like a light bulb that popped up in my head. I said, I don't even know what words to use to describe that. We have money made by the people that won't even accept it. And it showed me just how weak our currency was. And at that moment, that's when I realized, okay, we have to have our own currency that not only that I could use anywhere that I go in the world when I travel, but that's going to have to be respected in the way that our resources are in Africa. And that's when Akoin, the concept of it came about.
And welcome to the three of us coming together, because I heard this story. John and myself, John introduced me to Akon. And this blew my mind because, we're in the United States. What if we had to go from different currencies across every single state and we couldn't even exchange them? So this simple idea of having one currency interoperable, right, which is blockchain in a million forms. And we shook hands within a week and we started this business. And I'm proud to say, and I'd like John to share, from that vision, we created the Akoin platform. And our first pilot took Akoin and took the Akoin ecosystem into Mwale in Kenya. And I'd love John to describe what's happened there because it's really a beautiful journey. And then we'll talk about what's coming next.
So we partnered with a guy named Julius Mwale who built the bones of a smart city in Western Kenya. They've put up a hospital that will ultimately be 5,000 beds, so enormous. It's a teaching and research hospital, and they've got a bunch of other stuff built around it, housing and a little mall kind of mart and some other businesses. But what happened for us there was that Julius, who's got about, thousands of employees, started to get some of his employees first, and then local merchants, and then people in the neighboring areas to use Akoin for transactions. And they found that it was faster and cheaper and more functional than their primary transaction tools, which were either Kenyan shillings or prepaid cell minutes, or for a lot of people, M-Pesa. And the people got really excited about it. And as we expand outward, it's changing the lives of many of the people there. Again, faster, cheaper, more functional, more utilization cases. And as we roll out beyond Moale into other areas of Kenya and Senegal and other countries in Africa, that prototypical program and all of the things that we learned programming that and making the system work give us great confidence as ultimately this can be a coin for Africa that will be used across the 54 countries and 41 currencies that exist currently.
And I must ask you to add, just in terms of competition, we entered this area and it changed the force of things. If you could describe what happened with M-Pesa.
Sure. Well, our biggest, one of my, big moments of pride occurred after some national television coverage was aired on Kenyan national television.
Hold on, John, before you go there. So for those who don't know what M-Pesa is, M-Pesa was one of the first mobile transactional currencies that actually imploded throughout Africa and became one of the biggest utilized currencies for the East African market. I mean, super impactful. These guys, you got to commend them because they were one of the few to lay it out, but they were overcharging the people like crazy.
Yeah, there are about 44 million users. It is expensive to get into, as with many prepaid minutes kind of plans, which leads to a barter economy. M-Pesa, not cheap to get involved with, not cheap for transaction costs, not cheap to buy in. But when our national coverage came out and it was featuring the head doctor and administrator of Moale Medical City, who's the former health minister, within 2 hours of that coverage airing, M-Pesa's parent company, Safaricom, announced that they were cutting their transaction fees in half. At that moment, saving the users, those 44 million plus people, about $7.5 to $10 million a month in and month out. So over $100 million of impact just from us building and coming to Kenya. They realized they couldn't compete. We're cheaper, we're faster, we're more functional. We offer a lot more interoperability than they do. And you can't turn a cruise ship around in a small harbor, so they know they'll never be able to compete. So they've tried to start competing on price, and it's still not working.
So this gets me to, number one, we painted a city with Akoin. There are many cities, and we won't dive into all of them, that are already in development with both of you and myself in terms of letting Akoin be used at every aspect of a business and daily life of someone in that city. So this is beautiful. And today we're here to talk about what is next. So I am very proud to say we all came here together. We love being in Malta together. We were here 2 years ago. And with a specific mission in mind, we wanted to introduce to you, but really to physically give Akon something that we are quite proud of, which is the Akoin Card. Thank you very much. This is slick. This is beautiful. I'm going to hand it over. Yep. And this is powered by banks, our partners that are in the audience today. And we had this moment, and I knew if I was sitting next to Akon and we shared two things. The power of the Akoin card, which is usable, meaning we can take the Akoin that we have and use it at any MasterCard-enabled store. And if we sat as we did last night and handed Akon his card, the power of being able to spend your crypto, which is Akoin, connected to, again, what's coming next, which is the Akoin public wallet. So we've talked a lot about our city deployments. In the next 30 days, coupled with this card, is the rollout of our Akoin wallet. And it's much like a Coinbase wallet for those of you that go out to buy crypto, because we wanted to make sure the easiest experience of seeing your digital assets, Akoin, in addition to if you hold NFTs, any other cryptocurrencies you hold, simple click, see all of your assets, and it's tied to your Akoin card. And the power of that, Akon, having been inspired by what he experienced in Africa and what he knew this would do for the people, was so immense. I saw it in your face, and I thought this is a game changer. And so we wanted to make today about sharing this announcement, thanking our partners, banks, for bringing this to us and bringing it to life. It took a lot of time to work with MasterCard and banks to implement this. And so again, tied to the public wallet coming out in 30 days, we're testing it first in Moale. And I want to pass to Akon to get your thoughts and feelings about the power of what the Akoin card will do.
Right. So this card is the gateway to be able to move your African currency, Akoin, everywhere. And I don't have to deal with the exchanging of the CFI and getting turned down at the local exchange currency standard locations. And it also allows, just so you know, one of the biggest things that inspired Akoin us also is that in a lot of the rural areas in Africa, you know, the currency itself is not trusted out there either. So it got so bad to the rural areas where people were using cell phone credits, like their minutes, as ways to utilize as currency. So they would go to the local market to get fish, vegetables, fruits, or anything, and they would just exchange cell phone minutes back and forth with each other for the merchandise. And when we saw that, we also realized, man, this is really a target in which we really need to capture. And that's one of the reasons why we built the Akoin around exchanging cell phone minutes for Akoins as well. So now, even their cell phone minutes that they have credits for, they can exchange that into Akoin and go into an actual real store and actually purchase something now. And within the Akoin wallet, it's of course we have the swap options where you can exchange it to any, you know, cryptocurrency out there, any fiat currency out there. And in certain parts of Africa, we'll have it specifically for those rural areas where you can actually change out your, you know, cell phone credit minutes as well within that to be able to exchange it all within the Akoin platform. So it pretty much gives you all the versatility that you need to be able to spend your money how you want to spend it and where, importantly, you want to spend it.
And NFTs. I mean, I showed you that.
Oh,
that's
forgot about
right.
that. Right. So on the NFTs, of course, we have Akoin NFTs. And in the wallet, it actually allows you to store all your NFTs in the wallet, like every piece of artwork on it, with the price attached to it, and be able to chop it up in so many micro ways to be able to trade that off as well and sell it. So that's not like you haven't seen that on any wallet, but we'll be announcing that within the next 30 days and be able to have the pilot out there on YouTube for people to review it.
Absolutely.
And then we add other interoperability overlays, which will include microlending and traditional loans and other financial inclusion things that people have not experienced, especially in some of these rural areas. So that's our next phase and coming soon.
And I want to highlight this point about mobile minutes because we really saw, as Akon described, how those minutes, those prepaid minutes are being used to trade in the local stores and the power of adding that into the wallet. John, if you could speak to one of the major ways we're pulling that off is getting our own mobile money license in place, because then we can literally let people trade in those prepaid minutes. So if you could talk to that a bit.
Sure. We're in the process of getting the paperwork done for our mobile money transfer license in Senegal, which is the gateway to us really being a parallel overlay financial tool. Really important for the people, really important to give them, again, more tools and services, and then that links us into all of the things in the dApps and apps that will be in our ecosystem, whether they're there for education, entertainment, finance, social good, et cetera. It gets all of that in the user's hands just through their cell phone. And another question that's come up over time is, gee whiz, do you need to have a smartphone for our core business to just transact? You can do it with a $15 flip phone. You need a smartphone for some of these other tools and services, but they're not the expensive iPhones that we know here. There's a lot of really accessible options, and many people in these rising economies don't have just one phone, they have multiple.
Absolutely. Which, to add to that point, what I think is cool, I love carrying the card. I mean, I already threw it down all over Malta, so it's fun to use the slick card, and it's got a nice weight to it. But the card is also, like, we pay on Apple Pay, we just tap our phone up. So the card is also digital. So if you don't have the card with you, mobile phone is literally the primary tool of business in Africa. So they're just going to be using their phone a lot of times. So thank you for letting us share everything about the Akoin card. And I want to just add one more point, which is important because being in crypto for this long, and I'm sure all of you feel the same, we also, through our relationship with banks, we have the highest level of security. So we're using Verif for KYC AML. And then the next announcement that will be coming out for us, the wallet is based on Fireblocks. I'm sure many of you are aware of them. They're the top 2 player in terms of wallets as a service. So we're building on top of best of breed technology for security, things like backing up your, how many times have you signed up for an account and you have to write down the 16 codes for crypto, and it's blowing your mind. So this mission that Akon sent us out on to make sure this was simple, it was usable, it was secure, is really also being powered by Fireblocks Wallet as a Service experience that not only backs up your digital identity and your security passcodes, but has an absurd amount of insurance. So as we go out to change the world, we want to make sure that the people, in particular in Africa, feel safe and feel that someone's backing up their information, backing up their finances, so no one ever gets screwed, scammed, or lost. So exciting future ahead. Anything else we want to add or close out with before we move into experiencing this amazing? Thank you, Sigma. Thank you, AIBC. We're going to walk Akon around and show him the amazing booths and panels that are up here today.
Right. So, but before I do leave, I do want you to look forward to the future. I will be doing and back very active in the music space again. Clearly this last, was it 10 years? Because I haven't released an album since 2008. That's how fast time flies. I didn't even realize it's been 11 years. Like, shit is crazy. I'm like, dude, 11 years passed by and I haven't released a record. And that's how fast time flew. But I am about to get super active 2022, new album coming out. A lot of tours that I'm about to announce in which all the albums will be NFT form. So these albums won't be sold as traditional albums anymore. These will be NFT albums attached, with all kind of special artwork and videos and everything attached, like a full out experience. So I'm super excited to be able to show you guys what that's coming in. And it's all gonna be naturally, be able to be infused with this metaverse. So we're gonna be the soundtrack of the metaverse as we're moving into the new future. And, just wanted to let you guys know I hadn't forgot about the music. It's definitely going down. I just had to make sure I build my legacy first. Now I can move forward.
Starting tonight, it's going down.
We'll see you all here tonight at the big show.
Absolutely. And we're also we're throwing a huge party tonight at
Skynet.
What is it called? Sky?
It's across from the West End.
What's the name of the club? Do you know?
I forget the name.
What's the name of the club? Oh, you guys know better than me.
You had the S.
Yeah, so you know how it goes. After all of this, man, you got to unwind and just have some fun. So come on out. We're going to have an amazing time tonight. And just come join us. I think they might, if you hadn't already got your sections, they're already sold out, but is there a lot of space in the club that you guys can fill up? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We can't wait to see you tonight.